You are about to make the biggest investment of your life. The stakes are high, the pressure's on, and one wrong move could cost you everything. So, how do you negotiate when buying an online business without getting burnt or missing out on a deal? Now, I put countless offers on deals and helped many clients structure great offers that have been win-win offers and scenarios for all parties. Now, if you appreciate that I'm sharing with you the art of negotiation from hundreds of deals that has helped us buy a great business at fair prices, please share the love by hitting the like button. And by the way, thank you so much for hitting the like button. I do truly appreciate it, and it does help me help a lot more people and help people avoid, missing out on great businesses. First up though, the art of negotiation is to not negotiate. That's what this video is all about. Setting up yourself to not need to go negotiate and still get a great deal for a good price. As soon as you start to negotiate, you are unconsciously and psychologically telling the seller that you don't know what the business is worth, and you can be manipulated on price as well. We don't want to do that. This can cause you to get emotional. It can cause you to overpay and possibly make a bad financial decision. So to set this all up, there are 5 main things you need to work on to ensure that you know how to negotiate properly. Number 1, reputation is everything. I once had a client come to me wanting to buy a business, but was absolutely shocked at the multiples and the valuations of these businesses in the e-commerce space at the time of the current market. He was also severely disgusted with the profit and loss statements that he was getting and the financial documents that he was getting from brokers and sellers. The things that they presented to him, he was just not happy with. Now, I had multiple different brokers come to me and say things like, is this guy serious? And is he actually one of your clients? Like, is he for real? Like, who is this person? Now, I unfortunately admitted that, yes, this guy had been through my trainings and was taught to not behave the way in which he actually was. I actually have trainings and lessons on how to be an attractive buyer, which is absolutely critical. Now, this guy, he was making lowball offers on businesses that were selling for far more than he actually offered. He was disrespectful to many people in our space, and this clearly earned him a terrible reputation where most brokers and sellers knew who he was and would just not even speak to him anymore. He created such a bad reputation that the industry wouldn't even let him get in the door. Now, on the other hand, many of my clients who are taught to behave well and be attractive buyers usually build such great reputations with brokers and sellers that when they say no to a deal, brokers and the sellers always stay in touch for them to possibly buy another one of their businesses in the future because they want to work with them. They become preferred investors with these different types of brokers and sellers, and they prioritize selling their businesses to these people rather than actually taking them to the market or presenting them. This is the value of building a great reputation. Now, how do you build a great reputation? There's a bunch of different things you can do. So the second point is build great relationships. By building great relationships with sellers and everybody else in the space is going to help you win. This means multiple business brokers, financial brokers, advisors like me and other people in the space. Everyone, be honest with everybody that you do business with and in life as well. If people like you and they like how you operate, they will want to do business with you. So what are some of the things you can do to build these relationships? 1, if you haven't read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, read that book. It's a great book. I read that probably about 18 years ago, 17, 18 years ago. Love that book. Now, outside the book, the first thing you need to be doing is understand respect, right? Respect people's time, respect people's decisions, respect what they want or what they need out of a deal. Respect is critical. The next is having great communication. I'm not just talking about being clear in your communication. That's important too. I'm also talking about replying swiftly and promptly to emails and texts and calls and all that sort of stuff. Being on time, being punctual, right? Being fair with their time, not just dragging a call out for too long or dragging an email out for too long. Being clear with what data and answers you need and how you want them presented to you as well, right? Don't make things a guessing game for people and sellers and brokers. If you're vague, you'll likely be annoying to others and never get what you actually want or need. Think about this in life, right? People that are vague and a bit wish-washy, they're not going to get what they need. So be precise. Whenever I ask anyone for something, I give them a list of what I want, and I'm specific on what I want, how it's presented, and what's going to make me happy. And it's easy for them to go away and give me what I'm asking for. I'm giving them the opportunity to make me happy, which when somebody says, if you did this for me, I'd be extremely happy, I'm I'm going to go away and do it because I want to make them happy, right? The more you set others up to win by telling them exactly what you need, they'll feel great and they can provide that for you, right? They'll feel great because they can provide that for you. Think about this in an intimate relationship. If you tell your partner, I need this because it's going to make me feel a great way like this, partner's likely going to do it and everybody wins, right? Same if she does that for you or he does that for you, right? Any relationship, even friendships, all relationships work this way. Now, I'll give you an example. When I'm frustrated with my partner and I'm just tired, I tell my partner I need space. I need 4 hours to myself so I can meditate and I can surf and I can come back home and be happy. They're going to give that to me. They're going to want me to have that space. Now, when you ask your seller a bunch of questions, make them clear and easy to answer, and they'll be happy that they can answer those for you in the way that they want, or the way that you want, sorry. Another great way to deepen relationships is be a human being. Get personal. Ask questions like, where are you from? How did you grow this business? Why did you even get into this online business space? Did you buy this business? Why did you want to build it? Why did you build it this certain way? Right? Before you even get started talking too much about the business, you can even ask about their family and their life. And each time you speak to them, wish their family well, wish them well, and genuinely mean it. Typically, when I have coaching calls or when I'm speaking to somebody, I learn a little bit more about their life, passion outside of online business. Maybe they're like kayaking or hiking or something. And I talk about like, oh, what was the greatest hike that you've ever been on? That's going to allow them to open up and tell me much more about why they like hiking. They're reminiscing experience. You're giving them an opportunity to relive this experience that they love, which is going to uplift them and make them feel great about the relationship with you, because you're asking questions that they love talking about. This is so important. This goes a long way. It also shares that you're caring and not just some robot who wants to buy a business and you don't care who you're buying it from. That's just a massive mistake. You should really care who you're buying this business from. The more you learn about the person who owns the business and selling the business, the more you'll be able to understand how the business is even being run. This is critical data. This is data that is not going to get presented to you in just an email. These are soft skills, and that's so important. I've walked away from many deals because the seller was scrappy and not helpful. They cut corners and did dodgy things that I could see. Their communication wasn't great. It was hard to just organize things with them. Imagine what I hadn't seen yet within the business. So get close and personal and treat the seller with ultimate respect. Even if you're not going to buy their business, tell them, right? Be upfront. Tell them you've decided to not continue. Close a chapter for them as well. Don't just ghost them, right? That's just fool's play. Be a great person and respectfully give them closure. Number 3, this is huge in not needing to negotiate, right? Or the art of negotiation is know the real value of the business. It's one thing to see what the asking price is for the business, and it's another to know what the business is truly worth. Like, no. I just saw a business a client was doing due diligence on, and it was a 12-month-old e-commerce business, and they were asking for a 7-year multiple. Now, because I know the market, that's an insanely high price for what the business actually is. Based on the little data that I had, I knew it was overvalued. Now, it's up to you to assess the market. You should know the value of the business model you're looking at, in the niche you're looking at, or the industry you're looking at. Assess the risk and the value of the business based on fair market value and the risks that are involved, or like the minimization of risks involved with the business as well. Don't value the business just on upside potential alone. When you truly know what a business is worth, that's when you know your price. This can really only come from you knowing the market, being in the market, knowing the business model for that size business and in the niche or industry it's in. This is so important to know what a business is worth when coming to an offer and the negotiation table. Number 4, know what the seller wants. Once you know the value of the business, you need to find out what the seller wants and ask yourself, does that line up with the value of the business they've presented to you? And would you be willing to pay what they're asking for? If what they're asking for is around that figure that you're valued, then you can find some more information about how they want to be paid. Do they want mostly cash? If so, what percentage of cash would they take for the business, or versus some sort of level of seller note or creative financing, right? Will they even provide a seller note? What about an earn-out structure, or would they even provide seller financing? Ask these questions. If you know what they want and it's within the valuation of what you feel the business is actually worth, then you can work out how you can help them win, give them what they want because you've asked, and you can also get what you want. So it's a win-win situation. A deal will only happen if it's a win-win for everyone. This is important, very key to understand. A deal should only happen if everybody wins. So help them win and help yourself win. Come to the table and create an amazing experience for both of you guys. If you can't give them what they want because you don't think it's a fair price to pay, then you don't need to make an offer. Remember, reputation is absolutely everything. Keep the relationship strong and move on. You can give them closure, of course, like I mentioned before. If you think the price is somewhat fair for the business, maybe you can make a few tweaks to your offer, give them what they want, and give them one price and one offer for the business, and do not negotiate. That is the secret. Do not negotiate. The minute you start to negotiate, that is when they go, oh, this person can be manipulated on price, right? Now, all these things stack up, all the professionalism, all that sort of stuff stacks up. Now, before I continue on, I'm talking a lot about acquiring a business here, but due diligence is absolutely critical as well. If you haven't got my framework, go to buyingonlinebusinesses.com/free resources. It's what I use. It's what my clients use to take the guesswork out of buying businesses, that save people millions of dollars and made people millions of dollars. There'll also be a link in the description. If you also have any questions for me, drop them in the comment section below, or if you want to reach out to me and you may want some help, I can either help you, or if I can't, I'll refer you to somebody who can. Email is info@buyingonlinebusinesses.com. Now, my last point. Now, I've said all these are critical and pretty big. Do not play games. Let me ask you, can you remember the last time you were tricked? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It is not nice though. I hope you can remember the time you were tricked so you understand how bad that feeling is. Just last month, I was tricked. I was tricked into buying a sarong, right? One of those lightweight sort of towels that women sometimes wear as skirts, or you could even wear them as a dress sometimes. I was, sold into buying a sarong to enter a temple here in Bali. I don't like sarongs, I don't use them, I don't need one. And the ticket you buy to enter the temple includes a sarong that you can use and you can give back, right? It's included in the price of the ticket. But I was hustled into buying the sarong. I told that I was needed. I needed this sarong to enter the temple. Classic trick. I was just not paying attention, too tired at the time, and didn't know. And it wasn't a lot of money. It was around $5, $10, but I just didn't like the experience at all of I thought they were lovely people, and they came up to me like, oh, you gotta buy this wrong. And they started putting them around me and like showing me all these different ones and all that sort of stuff. And then I left the things like, I need this sarong to enter the temple, but I don't care for it. I don't like it. I don't want it. And the experience was not great, right? So let me ask you, is this what you want for someone you're about to buy business from, right? Do you really want to trick them and create a crappy experience like that? Especially when you're relying on them to do the right thing, to give you great advice and help you take over this large investment with ease, right? To even go through a training period with you. I find the better relationships that I build with people that I buy businesses off, the more value they give me in the years to come, right? I'm not just talking 3 to 6 months. I can contact anybody that I bought a business off these days and they will know who I am and they'll have some level of respect for me because I maintained that relationship and I cared for them and we all won in this situation. I didn't try and play games. I didn't trick them. But remember, the relationship you build with someone or the person you're buying the business off can be more valuable than the business you buy alone. If you want to play games, you can open up your phone and you can play Candy Crush, right? If you want to buy a business, I suggest submitting one offer and sticking with it. You've done all the work to get a fair valuation, right? You've worked on yourself, you've worked on knowing how to find a business, do due diligence, know how to know the market and value a business based on the market value. You know what the seller wants and you can give it to them within your conditions, of course, and within their conditions. Tell the seller, be upfront. Tell them, I'm only going to make one offer, and if you want something else, then you can go away and get that elsewhere. But I'm making one offer. If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's fine. I hope you can get it somewhere else. This type of clear communication buys you respect, right? It buys you trust and states you are not here to play games and you know what you want. And if it's not what the seller wants, then you can both easily move on. There's no mess. There's no confusion in this. You're very clear, to the point, stated, and you're respectful about it. If the seller wants to play games, you don't need to get involved. Be a professional and tell them, that you're going to stand by your offer. And if they want to take it, great. If they don't, they can, go find another offer from somebody else, right? And you can go let them play games with somebody else, right? And this has happened before many, many times where people go away and they try and play games with other people and they come back and they've got respect for me because they know that I stuck to one offer. I know the market. I know what the business is actually worth. They didn't get what they want playing games, so they wasted a bunch of their time and resources. Then they came back to me wanting me to buy the business for the same amount of price. But because I know they couldn't get what they want, psychologically, I could decrease my offer, right? I wouldn't do it too much. I wouldn't be burning bridges, right? I still want to keep respect, right? But by you knowing what the business is worth and sticking with your offer, psychologically, this buys you an incredible amount of respect and also states to the seller that you know what the business is worth, right? Like I said before, and this can cause them to course correct because they may end up believing you, or they should end up believing you if you are actually legitimate and you know what you're talking about, you know the market, right? Because they'll start to see that you maybe even know more about what the business is worth than they actually do. So I'm going to say it one more time. Be professional. Being professional pays. Professionalism pays in far more ways than just money. It can save all parties time and resources, and that's the most respectful thing you can do for yourself and for others. Hey YouTube watcher, what's up? It's Jared Krause here. If you appreciate this video and you've watched it up until now, please smash the like button. It helps me to see that what I've created and what I've learned and am sharing is of value to you, and also helps me help more people. That's what we're here for in life, right? Is service at the end of the day. So thank you so much. Also, possibly consider subscribing. My exploration on YouTube is about to explode. I'm talking more polls, stories, content, great videos tailored to what you actually want. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you have something you do want me to talk about, mention it in the comments or reach out to me, info@buyingonlinebusinesses.com. I'm here for you. Speak to you soon.